Did you know that a simple penny from 1951 could be worth far more than just 1 cent? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting, and specifically, we're taking a closer look at the 1951 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny. This humble copper coin, once just spare change in someone's pocket, could now be worth a surprising amount of money. So if you've got a jar of old coins lying around, you'll want to stick around until the end of this video. You might be holding onto a small treasure. History of the coin. First, let's talk a little about the history of this coin. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was part of a series that began back in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait. Prior to this, U.S. coins used symbolic images, like Lady Liberty, designed by Victor David Brenner. The coin shows Lincoln's profile on the front, or obverse side, with the words "In God We Trust" across the top, Liberty to the left, and the year 1951 stamped on the right. If there's no letter beneath the date, it means the coin was minted in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, you'll find 2 wheat stalks on the edges and the words 1 cent and United States of America in bold in the center. This is why collectors call it the wheat penny. Minting in availability. Now, let's talk about minting. In 1951, over 284 million of these coins were produced in Philadelphia alone, without a mint mark. That's why it's referred to as the 1951 no-mint mark penny. With that high number, it may seem like these coins are common, and many are. But the true value lies in the details. What makes it valuable? So what makes one of these pennies worth more than face value? It comes down to 3 main factors: condition, rarity, and errors. First is condition. A coin in good condition might be worth just a few cents over face value. But a coin in mint state, also known as uncirculated, can be worth significantly more. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition for over 70 years are far more desirable to collectors. Next is rarity. While millions were made, finding one in mint condition or with a rare variation is much harder. Some coins were struck slightly differently, have die cracks, or were double stamped. These minting errors are extremely attractive to collectors. Finally, there's the market demand. Right now, coin collecting is as popular as ever, and the prices of rare coins are reflecting that. Online marketplaces and auctions are booming with activity. Collectors are paying big bucks for high-grade examples. Recent sales and current market value. Let's get to what everyone wants to know. What is a 1951 no-mint mark Lincoln wheat penny worth today? In circulated condition, this penny is usually worth between 3 and 15 cents. Not too exciting, right? But here's where things get interesting. If the coin is in uncirculated, mint state condition, we're talking grades like MS63 or MS65, then the value shoots up. These coins can sell for anywhere from $1 to $3 or more depending on quality. But that's not all. In higher grades like MS66 or MS67 with stunning luster and no blemishes, collectors have paid upwards of $50 to $100 for a single coin. One particularly beautiful example even sold at auction for over $150, and then there are the rare error coins. If you come across a 1951 penny with a noticeable minting error like an off-center strike, double die obverse, or clipped planchet, the value can jump dramatically. Some error pennies from this year have fetched $300 or more. That's a big leap from 1 cent. How to check if you have a valuable PNNY? So how can you tell if your 1951 penny is valuable? Start by checking the date and mint mark. If there's no letter under the year, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, take a close look at the condition. If there's minimal wear and sharp details on both sides, that's a great sign. Next, look for any abnormalities. Does the coin have any doubling of the letters or numbers? Any misaligned edges? These could be minting errors that add value. If you're unsure, consider having your coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can give you an official grade and help you understand the market value. Where to sell or buy? If you discover your penny might be worth something, you have a few options. You can list it on online platforms like eBay or Etsy. Many collectors browse these sites daily. Alternatively, take it to a local coin shop or a coin show where you can get a professional opinion and maybe even sell it on the spot. And if you're looking to collect rather than sell, the 1951 no-mint mark penny is an affordable and fascinating addition to any collection. It represents a piece of American history and carries the legacy of one of our greatest presidents, Abraham Lincoln. Closing THOUGHTSO. The next time you come across a handful of old pennies, take a closer look. That 1951 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth far more than 1 cent. With the right condition or a rare error, you might just be holding a tiny treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you won't miss out on more coin collecting tips and coin value guides. Leave a comment below if you found a rare penny in your collection. We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, happy collecting and keep your eyes on the change. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where we explore rare coins and hidden treasures you might already have in your pocket or tucked away in a jar. Today we're talking about one specific coin that could be worth a surprising amount of money. I'm talking about the 1956 Lincoln penny. This little copper coin, struck in Denver, might not seem like much at first glance, but don't be fooled. Depending on its condition and a few key factors, it could be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. So before you toss that old penny into a coin jar or spend it without thinking, you're going to want to stick around. You might be sitting on a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Yes, really. Let's dive in and take a closer look at the 1956 Lincoln penny and what makes it so special. First, let's talk a little bit about the background. The 1956 penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. These pennies were minted from 1909 to 1958 and are called wheat pennies because of the wheat stalks on the reverse side. In 1956, there were over 1.09 billion of these pennies struck at the Denver Mint, and you can identify them by the small d mint mark right under the date. Now you're probably thinking, if over a billion of these were made, how could they be rare or valuable? That's a fair question. And here's the answer. Most of them were circulated and show signs of wear. But coins that have survived in mint condition, especially those with strong luster and few marks, are far more scarce and desirable among collectors. In fact, what really drives up the value of the 1956 penny is the coin's grade. This is a way of measuring the condition of a coin, and the scale goes from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. If your 1956 penny is in circulated condition, meaning it's been used in shows wear, it might only be worth a few cents to a couple of dollars. But if it's in uncirculated condition with no wear and strong detail, that's when things start to get interesting. Now listen to this. A 1956 penny in MS65 red condition, that's a grade given by professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for around $15 to $25. And if it's a top quality MS67 or MS68 red, you're looking at a value in the hundreds. The current market value for a stunning 1956 Lincoln penny in MS67 red has been recorded at around $1,600. Yes, one penny, over $1,600 at auction. That's not bad for something you might find in an old coin jar, but there's more. Some 1956 pennies have varieties and errors that make them even more valuable. Keep an eye out for double die errors, which happen when the die that strikes the coin shifts slightly between strikes. This can cause parts of the design, like the date or the lettering, to appear doubled. These double die errors are extremely collectible. If you have a 1956 penny with a strong double die on the obverse or reverse, it could bring in significantly more money depending on demand and grade. There's also a known repunched mint mark variety for this year. That's when the D mint mark was stamped more than once, resulting in a visible doubling or shadow of the letter D. Collectors love these small variations because they tell a story about the minting process and add a layer of uniqueness to the coin. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if my 1956 penny is valuable? First, check its condition. The less wear, the better. Look at the luster and the detail, especially around Lincoln's cheek and jaw, and the wheat stalks on the back. If it looks almost brand new, it might be worth submitting to a grading service for a professional opinion. Second, look for signs of errors or doubling. You can do this with a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. If you see anything strange or unusual about the lettering, date, or mint mark, you might have a variety that's worth more. And finally, don't clean your coin. I can't stress this enough. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value drastically. Even if it looks dirty or tarnished, leave it as it is. Collectors want original surfaces, and cleaning can scratch the coin or alter its natural appearance, making it far less desirable. To wrap it up, the 1956 D Lincoln penny might seem common, but the truth is, it can be worth much more than face value. Uncirculated examples can bring in $20 or more, and high-grade, certified specimens can sell for hundreds to over $1,000. Add in an error or repunched mint mark, and you've got a seriously valuable coin on your hands. Go check your change jars, your dresser drawers, your old piggy banks. You never know what you might find. That ordinary-looking penny could be a hidden gem. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on rare coins and collectibles. We've got new content every week to help you find treasure in your pocket change. See you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you love rare coins, historic money, and incredible coin values, you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the 1954 D Lincoln penny, a small coin with big value. You may have some of these lying around, and believe me, you'll want to check. Some of these pennies are worth a lot more than you think, up to $1,800 in today's coin market. Let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1954 D Lincoln penny and find out what makes this humble coin so valuable. First, let's talk history. The 1954 D penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was first minted in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. That makes it the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, not a symbolic figure. The D Mint mark on this penny stands for the Denver Mint, which struck over 251 million of these coins in 1954. At first glance, the 1954 D Lincoln penny doesn't seem rare. With hundreds of millions minted, it should be common, right? Well, yes and no. While the majority of these pennies are common in circulated condition, there are some rare varieties and high-grade examples that are worth a small fortune. So how do you know if your 1954 D penny is valuable? Let's go over the key factors that determine its value. First up, condition. Coin collectors use a grading system to evaluate the quality of coins. A penny in circulated condition, meaning it's been used in everyday transactions, might only be worth a few cents. But a 1954 D penny in uncirculated condition, with original red color and no wear, can be worth hundreds or even over $1,000. So for example, a genuine 1954 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 red, that's mint state 67 with full red luster, has sold at auction for over $1,800. That's right, one penny, nearly $2,000. The reason it's so valuable is because very few coins survive in such pristine condition. Most were used, spent, and worn down over time. Next, let's talk about errors and varieties. This is where things get exciting. Point one of the most valuable kinds of 1954 D pennies are those with minting errors. These can include double dies, off-center strikes, and repunched mint marks, commonly known as RPMs. An RPM happens when the D mint mark is punched more than once in slightly different positions. If you see a faint second D under or over the first one, you might be holding an RPM, and that can raise the value significantly. Another valuable error is the double die obverse, where the front of the coin shows noticeable doubling in the lettering or date. These types of errors are rare, but collectors are willing to pay top dollar when they find one. So what should you look for on your 1954 D penny? Here are the key things to check. First, flip the coin under a good light and check the condition. Look for sharp detail, no scratches, and original red color. Second, examine the date and mint mark closely. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to look for doubling or signs of a repunched mint mark. Third, check the reverse side. The wheat stock should be crisp and well-defined. Any weak strikes or anomalies could signal a mint error. Now let's talk about current market value. As of now, most circulated 1954 D Lincoln pennies are worth about 5 to 25 cents. That's not much, but better than face value. However, if you have a penny in uncirculated condition, especially graded MS65 red or higher, you could be looking at $30 to $200. If your coin is a super high grade like MS67 red, it could fetch over $1,800 at auction, depending on demand. And remember, coins with known errors like RPMs or double dies can bring even more, sometimes hundreds of dollars even in lower grades. So what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1954 D penny? First, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy the value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and place it in a protective holder. And next, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can dramatically increase the coin's marketability and value. Finally, stay updated on coin values by checking online auction results, visiting coin forums, and talking to experienced collectors. The coin market changes, and a coin worth $500 today might go for $1,500 next year. To wrap things up, the 1954 D Lincoln penny is a fascinating coin. While most are common and low in value, a few special examples are worth hundreds or even over $1,000 today. Whether it's a rare error or a high-grade specimen, your penny could be more valuable than you think. So check your change, dig through your old coin jars, and take a closer look at those wheat pennies. You might just strike gold with a 1954 D Lincoln penny. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin content, and leave a comment below. Do you have a 1954 D penny? Let us know what condition it's in and what you've discovered. See you in the next video and happy collecting. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel where we talk all things coins, currency, and collectibles. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a valuable tip about coin collecting and what could be hiding in your change jar. Today we're diving deep into one of the most interesting pennies minted during World War II. That's right, the 1942 D Lincoln penny. You might be wondering if this small copper coin is actually worth anything today. Could it be sitting in your coin collection or pocket change right now, holding a secret value far beyond 1 cent? Let's find out first. Let's talk about the coin itself. The 1942 D penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, which was minted from 1909 until 1958. These coins feature the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse or front side, which was first introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The reverse side shows 2 stalks of wheat and the famous phrase 1 cent United States of America. It's a simple but iconic design that instantly makes these coins recognizable to collectors all over the world. Now, what makes the 1942 D penny special? The D Mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, where this coin was struck. In 1942, over 206 million of these pennies were produced in Denver. So in terms of rarity, it might not sound that special right off the bat. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though millions were made, not all of them have survived in good condition. Many were circulated heavily during the war years, and copper was in high demand due to wartime production. Coins that have survived in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, can fetch a surprising amount of money in today's market. Let's talk numbers. In average circulated condition, a 1942 D Lincoln penny is usually worth around 1 to 3 cents. Not much more than face value. But if you have a coin that's in better shape, say very fine or extremely fine, the value can jump to a few dollars. Now here's where it gets exciting. If your 1942 D penny is in uncirculated condition, especially with a high mint state grade like MS65 or above, collectors might pay anywhere from $20 to over $100 for it. And in some rare cases, especially with red color designation and top-tier grading, this coin has sold for over $1,000 at auction. That's right. A single penny from 1942 can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition, luster, and grading. And yes, that includes the current market conditions as of this recording. Let's give you a real example. A 1942 D penny graded MS67 red by PCGS, one of the top coin grading services, recently sold for over $1,100. That's a lot of money for a coin that originally cost just a penny. You might be asking, how can I tell if I have a valuable one? Here are a few things to check. First, look at the date and make sure you see 1942 with a D Mint mark under the date. Second, check the condition. Does the coin have sharp details, minimal wear, and some of its original red copper color? That's a good sign. Next, consider getting it professionally graded. A coin grading service can tell you exactly what condition your coin is in and provide authentication, which makes it much easier to sell or trade. Grading can be expensive, so it's worth doing only if your coin looks like it might be in mint state or close to it. Another thing to watch out for is errors. While not common, some 1942 D pennies have errors like double die outbursts, off-center strikes, or repunched mint marks. These error coins can be even more valuable depending on rarity and condition. So what's the current market value of a 1942 D Lincoln penny today in 2025? As of now, the average value for a circulated example is about 1 to 5 cents. But a well-preserved coin in MS65 red can go for around $100 to $150. And those rare high-grade or error coins can reach values of over $1,000. That's why it's always a great idea to check your old coin jars, look through inherited collections, or even examine your pocket change. You never know what treasures you might discover. So to recap, the 1942 D Lincoln wheat penny may seem common at first glance, but it holds real value under the right conditions. Whether it's worth just a few cents or over $1,000 depends entirely on grade, color, and rarity. Keep your eyes peeled, because history might just be sitting in your hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow collectors. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos on rare coins, values, and tips for building your collection. See you next time. Imagine finding a single penny in your change jar that could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's absolutely real. One ordinary-looking coin from 1942 without a mint mark could make you a fortune. Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth behind this mysterious 1942 Lincoln penny that sold for up to $956,000. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny in your collection. This is not your average copper coin. The 1942 Lincoln wheat penny looks like millions of others. But one small detail, or sometimes one tiny error, can turn pocket change into life-changing money. So what makes this specific penny so valuable? Let's break it down. In 1942, the United States Mint was producing Lincoln cents primarily in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If your penny has a small D or S under the date, that means it was made in Denver or San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia. And normally, those Philadelphia coins are among the most common. But here's the twist: some 1942 pennies were struck using the most were made of copper. But a very tiny number were accidentally minted on bronze planchets that had slightly different compositions. Others were struck using leftover blanks from foreign coins or had striking errors like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or clipped planchets. These minting mistakes are extremely rare. And rarity drives value. Collectors go crazy over these kinds of errors because they are almost impossible to find. They are like winning the lottery. One such 1942 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, in pristine condition with a unique error, sold at auction for $956,000. And no, that's not a typo, that particular coin had everything going for it. Razor-sharp details, a perfect chocolate brown tone, and a verified mint error that made it one of a kind. Experts authenticated it, and collectors battled over it. The final bid? Just shy of $1 million. So how do you know if your 1942 penny is valuable? Here's what to look for. First, check the date and make sure it says 1942 with no letter underneath. That means it's from Philadelphia. Then, inspect the coin's color and surface. Is it darker than usual? Does it have unusual luster or odd markings? Now, take a closer look at the lettering in Lincoln's profile. Are the letters doubled or fuzzy? Is the edge off-center or clipped? If anything looks unusual, your next step is to get it checked by a professional coin grader. Services like PCGS or NGC can verify authenticity and assign a grade that determines its market value. And here's the kicker. Even if your penny isn't worth $956,000, many 1942 no-mint mark pennies with minor errors still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The demand for rare coins is massive right now. Collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for rare cents, especially those with historical quirks or minting flaws. And since 1942 was a wartime year, any anomalies from that period are especially desirable. Before you go digging through your drawers and piggy banks, here's a quick recap. You're looking for a 1942 Lincoln wheat penny. It must have no mint mark under the date. Bonus points if it has an unusual color or a visible minting error, and if it looks pristine. Get it graded. Who knew that a simple penny from 1942 could be worth more than a Lamborghini? That's the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary coins with extraordinary stories. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin breakdowns. And don't forget to check your pockets. The next $1 million penny might be hiding in plain sight.